Back in Baldur's Gate. So, without much ado, since we ran a little late, um, you guys had taken a short rest, waiting at your father's house, Dwimby's. I remember his name this time because I'm not, sick. And the after the end of your rest and your visit and stuff like that, it was just starting to get to dusk, and I believe the party, just as a reminder, if you didn't refresh your own memories, was getting ready to head back to the docks because Jack had mentioned meeting him in the evening.
Yep.
Mhm.
So hopefully it's a little bit before dusk. We're
It
trying
is
to do that.
just getting to dusk, as in
Okay.
the sun is setting.
Okay.
So your hopefully is unfortunately not quite accurate, but there it is, anyways.
All right, fellas, we better get out of here. Last time we got caught in the dark, it was not good.
Yeah. Let's get away so we don't get ambushed.
As we're walking away from Dwemmy's, do I see any any
I'm gonna give my
black
dad a hug before
cross,
we leave.
any hammers crossed symbols?
And well, you look around. You don't. Well, make a perception check. And,
Okay,
and
yeah.
and for the sake, since Kai is not going to be playing tonight, um, we'll say that he stopped by and told the party that he was going to go back to the inn for the night, because he wasn't feeling well.
Oh, I'm not loaded in. Hold on. Roll 20 didn't load
Yeah, I don't see your name down there.
here. I rolled, but I don't know what it was, so
20
went to the
zillion.
20 zillion. Ha! I know everything. Okay, now we should be able to get there. Well, I don't really see much.
So you look around and you see the wide, all the stores and stuff out there in the area, and
Oh, I meant Dwimby's place.
yeah.
Okay, all right.
So you look around out in the wide. It's just sun's just starting to set. A lot of the shops are packing it in, putting stuff up and whatnot. You see several fellows led by a strong, muscular-looking woman with a couple of facial scars, packing up what looks like a book stall. Several colorful big books. Looks interesting. You get this nagging sensation, but it quickly goes away.
Okay.
The haste cart shop is
Yeah,
is
close by.
closing up.
Yeah. Somehow I feel like I've been here before, but that's never happened.
I can resist.
I do want to point out, I don't know if you heard me earlier. Before we left, I definitely would have hugged my dad and said goodbye.
Okay. He
Now it's
he
just
hugs
open
you
to see
back,
those-
and he makes one comment as you're embracing. He goes, "You're not gonna turn all metal, are you?
We'll see.
You be safe, son."
I'll try. Uh, give him a hug, kiss on the forehead, and I'm out.
Okay. And then the party's gonna make their way back to the docks.
Yeah.
Away.
You'll see Oliver kind of, I don't know, he's kind of quiet after seeing Ezra and his dad in their little exchange. And characteristically quiet.
Okay, gonna step through Baldur's Gate, I imagine.
If he's being quiet, I'm gonna tap on his shoulder and be like, "You okay, man?"
Oh, what do you mean?
You just looking a little distant.
I just think about my family.
I
Been a long time.
You kind of got a family with us, as dysfunctional as it is.
Very dysfunctional. But yeah.
We fight like brothers all the time.
Fighting reckons like fighting my sister.
Just remember, you can't spell dysfunctional without functional.
You know, you're very right.
That's facts.
I'm the smart one.
Yes,
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 you
you
are.
are. Pat him on the head. I have to jump to do it, but I'm patting him on the
We both have the same idea.
head. All right.
Keep wandering through boulders.
Olber's feeling
Yeah,
a little better. Still quiet, but
figured we
feeling
go
better.
to Baldur's Gate.
So you guys make your way over to Baldur's Gate, the gate inside of Baldur's Gate. Its namesake. um, as you begin to walk that direction, Luma flies down, lands on your shoulder, Ulver,
Mhm.
screeches softly, and then nibbles on your ear for a second.
Does it go? Is she just greeting me, or is it like
You get
something's on her mind?
no, you just get reassuring emotions from her.
Gotcha. I'll just kind of cradle her in my hand, and I'll just kind of hold her and
Okay.
have some silent thoughts with her.
Yeah. All right. The party makes their way over to the Baldur's Gate, and through it, heading over towards the docks. Probably head towards the main thoroughfare here, and along that way.
Oliver will be keeping his eyes peeled. A
And
little bit
then,
nervous.
yep. Go ahead and if you're gonna keep your eyes peeled, you can make a perception roll if you want. You get your passive, of course. So if you roll under it, you still get to use your passive. But
I'm glad you said that because holy cow.
I mean, most of the time that's the going rate. It should be the
Yeah.
going rate, anyways. Sometimes I forget, but to include your passive. I take it that means Eidolon is also keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
All right, so the party makes their way along the docks. Most of the work along the docks is done now. There's the odd people moving around. You can see lights on many of the ships as you approach the main section of the wharf here. And you know his ship was at the southern dock, so you continue on, making your way further south. You reach this dock here. You looking around though, you can see that the ships parked along this dock all look like military frigates and stuff. So you continue on and stop at the last dock. There you can turn and make your way along the dock looking for his ship.
Nice.
Because those other two docks there are for the ferries.
Ah,
Makes sense.
all right. Look around for a ship.
All right, you walk out along the docks, finally spotting his ship close to the end, and make your way over towards it.
Ahoy.
You see lanterns burning and lights, and the sound of music coming from the ship as well.
The hills are alive.
As
I
you,
was just gonna say that.
you see dark figures, moving around on the deck, Let me find my ship. There she is. We've been here before. Oh, and for the sake of argument, I imagine I'll say that Riken went back with Kai. Just since he's not here this session either. Let me go ahead and move this. There we go. And I'll just move or stick him on the GM layer. There we go. Stick him on the GM layer. There we go. Alright. Well, I see an Eidolon. Where's everybody else? Are they here?
Yeah, mine's here.
Oh yeah, there you are.
Eidolon. I don't see
So
Ezra.
Ezra's missing?
Looks like, yeah.
Yeah, where am I?
I'm a looking. Maybe he's on a different layer.
Yeah, there's 3 levels.
Oh yeah, you're right.
No, I don't see him. Zoom out a little bit. Oh, that's right, because I used this for the... I remember now.
Were you using my token for something nefarious?
No, I don't see your token at all, actually. Were you gone this session that we were running the future blackjack thing?
Yeah, he wasn't with us.
Okay, give me 2 shakes
Right.
and I'll get a token for him.
Yeah, this was a over legendary journey
Oh.
that you were gone for.
Where we're in the blackjack met him in the future.
Okay, yeah, that never happened with me. You guys went to the future?
You bet.
Yeah, bro. We figured out blackjack survives.
Not for long. Alternate time, baby.
Wow, that's an old token. Okay. We'll just do this one in here, so it's got to be fairly recent.
Oh, did you have my old screenshot from Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, I think that was what it was. The original token that you had. I was looking at the sheet, the token sheet that I had before, and I was like, "Holy crap, that's old! Like, we haven't used that
Oh, yeah.
forever."
Yeah, that's when the Baldur's Gate 3 first came out, and you could make your own character.
I'm trying to make Ezra in that.
Okay, there we go. All right, so you arrive at the ship. The gangplank's there, so you can just walk on up. As you do so, you can see Ragarex, the tower, the giant minotaur. It's currently leaning against one of the walls to the aft, or I'm sorry, the 4 cabins there, and Zachar Stoneface, the ogre, is currently leaning against the other one. The rest of the the rest of the people will just go ahead and say that they are where they are, mostly just regular deckhands. Jack is currently speaking to Ragarex, we'll say. No, he would be actually up talking to Altrax. So, up on the, up next to the wheel. So, you step up. The deckhands kind of stop and look at you. Zachar and Ragarex look at you. Ragarex recognizes you and just kind of snorts, points up towards where Blackjack and Altrax are.
Wave them down.
Excitedly. I'll give him a nod as I go by.
I just love seeing different. I like seeing different races, especially rare ones like minotaurs.
Hey, you haven't drawn anything or written anything in your book for a long time. Why'd you stop doing that?
Which book?
Remember that the book you used to carry around all the time. You
Well, you
learn new
guys.
things, you start writing in it.
Yeah, but you guys took it.
That's the book?
Yeah. The one that killed people?
No. The one when we met you, you had a book that you would, like a little journal or something.
Oh, that's just, my personal journal.
I haven't seen
Just,
you use it in a long time.
yeah, we've been a little busy or preoccupied, with kidnappings and tower battles.
Hey, you make time for the things that are important to you.
I know. Thanks.
As you guys finish up your conversation, you see Jack now walking down the stairs towards you. He holds out both hands in greeting and says, "Friends, welcome to the Ace of Spades."
Go up to shake his hand.
Isn't it
See
the
you again.
Queen?
Oh,
Queen
It says Queen of Spades.
Queen of Spades. Oops.
He's a little
Oh
drunk.
yeah, you changed the name, eh?
Just been drinking a little bit, celebrating.
Gotcha. Wink at him.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
Oh, he's been gone this whole time.
Pizza
I
time.
mentioned that my food showed up at the door, so I had to take it off real quick.
Yeah,
Yep.
nothing much other than Blackjack misremembering his own ship's name.
Well, you mentioned needing a ride somewhere. South, I believe you said.
Yeah, we need to head south, ultimately to Kalimshan. But if we could make a stop at Candlekeep, that would be great.
Yes, and I have procured some shipments that are destined for one for Candlekeep and another for Kalimshan, the port of Kalimshan to be exact.
If there's an opportunity, there's another place I'd like to go to, and that would be Chult. Is that a possibility?
Oh, that's a wild place. Are you sure you want to go there?
I'm pretty sure I have to go there.
Well, we can talk about it more when we have completed our other journeys, I imagine. The port of Kalimshan is probably the closest port in the area to Schult.
It is fine. There's lots of time to talk.
I have actually never been there myself, so we might need to find some navigational tools.
If it's something you need, I could always buy it for you.
I might have to take you up on that. I'm not going to be making very much money on this trip.
Oh yeah, we can definitely pay. And I nudge Ezra.
Mm-hmm.
Where's your platinum? Hurry.
How much? How much platinum?
All of it.
Yeah, 1,000.
So, before I hand over a platinum, there might be some dragon-related issues.
Stay on the Agon
All
train.
right. Don't worry about it. I got some banknotes. We'll use that. There won't be anything that will attract the dragon to.
Actually, you know what? I can press the digitation the shit out of this. I can take the smell entirely off.
Well, Mr. Fancy Pants.
I never thought of that before. we've been walking around with a giant target on our back. I can immediately resolve it with a cantrip. So I'm gonna do that right now.
I'll take my coins out and just what I've got on me. Like, why doing these while you're at it?
Yep, just waving my hand over them and making them odorless.
Takes a while, depending on how
I
much
mean-
you're doing.
Probably should have done this a while ago.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
do it right here on the deck of the ship.
I think probably yeah. Then this thing doesn't like attach to the ship. I don't know how this works. Dragons. No offense, Ezra.
So
I'm a genius, but it kicks in sometimes.
as you just start pulling out money and throwing it on the deck and casting magic on it, Jack goes, what be you doing, matey?
Fighting dragons. I just go
What?
back to doing it.
Well, anyways, I shan't be loading my goods until 2 days hence. And so
All right.
we will depart on the morning of the 3rd day. So, just in case you were wondering exactly what that meant, you'll have to sleep tonight, and the next night, and the next night within Baldur's Gate, and then we will depart in the morning. Of course, you're welcome to stay on the ship the last day, the last night. But before that, the ship is going to be quite busy loading and unloading supplies. So, probably best if you get it in.
All right.
It's probably for the best right now, anyway. We have a few things that we need to take care of while we're in town.
And
Yeah.
I know that you are friends of my great friend Alabaster, but you were going to pay me for the trip, I believe. We hadn't
Alabaster,
discussed
yeah.
the price.
Alabaster's got it covered.
Well, Alabaster.
You see how fancy this coat is?
All right.
What? This is a
Wait,
total
this-
surprise.
And
Hey, man, thank
Alabaster
you.
steps out of Jack's cabin.
Damn it.
Yes, I've got it. Bird. Here you go, Blackjack.
Where's our bird?
Bird?
Hey, Alabaster.
Adelar
Good to see you again.
gave you a ride here, and then you let him go.
What? Well, did he go back to Waterdeep?
He
Trying to
wa-
make him my pet.
he wanted to rejoin Nasiri, so
All right. He's with his sister.
Wait, Edlor was here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have one of his feathers. Anyways, how much is that, Blackjack?
well, I mean, just to cover expenses, the food and maybe 100 gold.
All right. Here's 20
Each.
platinum. Oh, each? Apologies.
I can pay. No.
Now, how many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? 6?
Speaking of which, your
It's-
platinum's from the Dragon Horde, right? Also, right?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna press the digitation of that and get the smell off, which I should have done so much longer ago.
I probably would have already had that done if it was smelly, but
Yeah, but none of us thought about it.
I was in the city of splendors. Could have gotten it done.
Oh, okay.
So 60 platinum.
Yes, yeah, and also for well, where the rest of you? There were more.
Oh, they
How
Yeah.
were
many?
feeling under the weather, so they went
Well,
back to the
Oh, that's
heat.
that's why.
fine. They're coming with you, though, right? I don't want to overcharge you.
As
Oh
far as
no,
I
Yeah.
know.
they're coming. They're coming.
Okay. Well, anyways, yes, and then 6 of you will be 600 gold or 60 platinum. Yes.
Yep. Here you go.
Thank you. I appreciate it, my friend. He bows to Alabaster.
Yep.
You Alvesta.
Thank you for your services. As always, it's a pleasure. So, what are we doing? What's the plan?
Well, just right to business, huh? All right.
Yep.
Nice to see you, by the way.
It is nice to see you. It's been a while.
Been a while.
Since I could.
So we're heading to Calamsham. Finally. That's back when you were here. But we're gonna make a quick stop at Candlekeep first.
Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
Oh, I've been trying to get myself further set up in Waterdeep. He's a political figure. It's been going fairly decently, except for the assassins. It's come to
Hey,
end that.
So you're
don't
leaving.
know about that.
You're living up to your family name then.
Sort of. A little bit better than that, hopefully.
Man, those assassins were not cheap.
No, they weren't, but apparently Carlian has all the money he needs.
Carlin is alive.
Yeah, he is.
Your Carlin, the from your past.
Carlian Rosnar. Yep.
I thought he was just dead.
Yep, well, that was not him, evidently.
Eh, we, yeah, we figured that out, but yeah, we just were. At least I was under the impression that he was no longer in the picture and he had an imposter take his place.
He's somewhere. I imagine he's using his family name to help the Black Hammer in some way. Either way, I need to find him. He's become quite a nuisance.
Yep.
Well, have you all gotten anything big done in the time we've been away?
Oh, we
Uh,
pissed off the Fae. That's the thing.
I mean,
Great.
That might be a
Yeah.
problem later on. Hopefully, you don't get dragged into it, but you might. Oh, also piss off some gods. Gods are not
yeah.
happy with us.
Uh,
I'm a werewolf.
Riken died.
You're a
Twice.
werewolf?
Yep. Really strong one too.
Eidolon's
I don't
died.
like her sword.
Eidolon's died 3 times total in the time he's been out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And then Riken died, and then we went back in the past and saved him.
What? You went back in the.
Yeah.
How'd you
We
get
went
back to the
into
future?
the future as well. We
Oh,
did
yeah.
go to the future as well. Except for Ezra, he wasn't a part of that.
So yeah, not much.
There was the moment where we were like demigods for short, like for a minute, and
Oh
then
yeah, we let a lot
Eidolon
of people
kills
to
them
their
all.
deaths.
Yeah, Eidolon.
I didn't mean to.
Ido's book was evil the whole time.
Eidolon's book. Which one? The one that Jim had?
Yeah.
Have we killed? Have you guys killed him yet?
We met him. He's not doing well.
Yeah.
What about his sister?
Haven't
Don't know
seen
where
her
he's at.
since.
Yeah, we're still on the hunt.
All right. So, do we have anything else we need to do in Baldur's Gate? I know that supposedly there's somewhere in the upper city I need to go.
Oh yeah, Terrasai's
Well,
here. That's a
Yeah,
thing.
Terrasai.
the Black Baroness,
Zenobi. Yeah.
Zenobi. Yes, she's here. And
yeah, we
attacked us
were
and tried to
ambushed.
trap us. We've had an
She's-
eventful couple of days.
Have you all been able to locate her with magical means?
Nah, no, we didn't really even know it was her here until this morning.
Hmm. All right.
she's
Well,
been hiring actors, and they've been wearing this cloak, and it's the same cloak I'm still wearing.
what did they look like?
Like
Oh.
that. Black hair and very light
Yep.
white skin. Um, yeah, we can give you a rundown here, but basically she dressed a whole lot of women, young women, in her clothing and had them dye the hair to make it look like her, and had them wandering all over the town trying to entrap us.
Mhm. Well, if they had white skin, you'd think you'd be able to know it's not her pretty well.
Well, you said that she's a tiefling, but I think she has a way to not look like a tiefling.
Hmm. Interesting.
And we ran into her actually in a big battle west of Waterdeep, and she kidnapped a few of our friends. And she was not a tiefling. She did not appear as a tiefling then either.
Oh, all right. Well,
And also, apparently, these girls were hired by some guy named Stanley. Does that
Yes,
ring a
Stanley?
bell for you?
fat fancy pants.
He has a cane with a skull on it, a
No,
monocle.
I don't know a Stanley.
Someone with that description. The cane would really stand out, I would imagine, and his monocle, top hat.
But apparently, him and Black Baroness are probably working together, and they know us fairly well.
Well, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure it was Banty that tipped them off. She got away from us. She knew where we were headed, and for Zenobi to know that we were coming, and to have our descriptions and everything about us, had to have come from Banty.
Mhm. Who's Banty?
Oh right, you haven't met her. Well, hopefully you haven't met her. Um she's from my home. She is totally evil, working with the Black Hammer, and yeah, I want to kill her really bad.
Oh, Over wants to kill someone. Interesting. How's
Well,
Riken been?
He's
well,
good. He's got the, you know, remember that Holy Land you desecrated by breaking off the branch of a
That wasn't
sacred tree?
my fault, but yes.
I got the
Well,
curses to prove it.
well, we ended up using part of that branch to make Riken a new spear. And it's really how he died the first time.
yeah, it was more powerful than what than the Harpels had actually intended us to have. It wasn't the shaft that they were looking for, but they went ahead and tried to do it, and it nearly destroyed all of the mansion. And yeah, it was pretty close there. But Roykin was caught in that and like was dead.
But that's when you went back in time and he
Hmm.
came
Yeah,
back. Right.
yeah,
Sure. That
I guess.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it, it's a little complicated. It was we had some help from a really annoying wizard, really annoying, and but yeah, it was sort of a we I guess hopped on different planes to do it.
Also, all of Riken's friends keep getting kidnapped. It's probably because
Yeah,
he's an inept leader.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
But he got his ranch back over in by Waterdeep. So we were there actually not that long ago.
Interesting.
So speaking of big things, how about you? I mean, politician, huh?
Sort of. Uh, More of a careful manipulator of the landscape. I'm trying to gather information on the various goings that's happening. Factions in Waterdeep trying to get caught back up on everything that's happening in the city.
You're pulling the strings, making things happen the way that you and your family would like it to be.
A little bit. Uh,
All right.
Not quite yet, but I've been recruiting a little bit.
So you're working with your father then?
Uh, Somewhat. But
How's that going?
I'm on good terms with him, but he's annoying sometimes. He did almost get killed though, which was not great, which is why I'm here.
All right. And you're tracking down the assassins, or
Yes, tracking down the assassins and hopefully through them Carlian.
do you know who they are?
Well, I assume it was the Black Hammer. Well, I know it was the Black Hammer. And I traced them here. I found a sort of a scout or a henchman, and apparently Terrasai has a hideout somewhere in the upper city.
It was Terrasai that did this to your family.
Well, Terrasai was hired by Carlian, or the Black Hammer was. I don't know. I assume Terrasai knows where Carlian's at.
Interesting. Do you think she knows that you're here?
Uh, Maybe. I don't really think it matters.
Well, if you're hanging with us, she will know for sure.
Have you tried a thing called a haste cart?
A haste card. I can't say I have.
Gritty. Get one up in the north end.
Is this a sandwich joke?
Yes, it is. There's a haste cart shop now.
Cannon.
Interesting.
We need to write to Wizards of the Coast.
Yes, we should
It's a
make it
terrible
canon.
name, but it's a good sandwich.
It's a bit of a mouthful.
It really is.
Haste card.
Just like the
You think a
sandwich.
mouthful should be the actual sandwich and not like to say the sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
They complement each other. It's genius. Y'all haters.
Why are you so invested in this, Ezra?
I don't know. Kindred spirit somehow.
Well, looks like we got some planning to do. It'll be a few nights before we get to leave this place.
Yep, I got a little bit more investigating to do.
You need help with that. I mean, sounds like
Yeah.
our goals are aligned right now, especially
Yep,
with
and
DSI.
that's why I came here.
We didn't expect to. It was a little surprise for us, so glad to hear. At least you know a
Convenient
little bit more
timing.
than we do.
Yeah, I've been in town for a couple of days.
Has she attempted to attack you? I guess you know that she knew you were here then.
Well, I was the one doing the attacking, but yeah.
Nice.
Well, let's get going then.
And we're off.
Ben, real quick, refresh my memory. The Minotaur, he's the first mate, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, no. Sorry.
Oh?
No,
Oh, he's not.
He's not.
Bit of an interesting crew. Hmm.
So as we're
Um,
walking away,
the Minotaur is. I'd have to look it up, but the Minotaur is not the first mate. The first mate, the second mate, and the third mate are triplets, elves.
oh, okay,
Does he have two Minotaurs
that's
then? Or
interesting.
is Korgorax or whatever just replacement solely, essentially?
Ragarex.
Yeah.
Yeah, he. I'm not sure. Honestly, without looking at my notes for that, I'm not sure. Sully was the Minotaur that we had in the game that
Bosun.
we were playing, right?
Well, Sully was your bosun
Yeah.
originally.
Give me two shakes. Let me check. Just so I'm accurate. I haven't looked at the crew of this ship in a while. Where is
I
he?
recall.
Well, you were running that game, so I
Yeah.
imagine I wasn't really paying too much attention to a lot of that. But I have it all in my notes here. Just give me a second. My extremely vast notes.
While you're looking through, do we see the triplets?
The Master at Arms, that is Ragarex. And then,
I guess they'd be on the deck, right here.
Sully. Sully. There he is. Yeah, the bosun is another Minotaur. He's not in evidence at the moment.
How about the
That's
second and
right.
third mates?
Oh, that's why it was confusing. Ragarex was a Goliath. He's a Minotaur. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, Ragarex is a Minotaur, and so is Sully. They're both
Okay.
Minotaurs.
Makes
So, just to run it down for you, the first mate, you know what? I'll just paste it in there, and y'all can just read it. It's fine. You'll get to know him when we go a sailing, anyways. I imagine you've been introduced to some of them.
She's going to be proactive and copy that all the notes.
Okay, so I don't think I've ever met the Kenyas. So. Okay.
Oh yeah, the fun part is Xander made me come up with all of those. Make the entire main crew. So that was fun.
It was I.
Name all 12 deckhands.
Yeah, it's a quiz later.
They're not important.
Don't be a slacker.
Deckhand 1, Deckhand 2.
Yeah, no. The reason I didn't name the deckhands is because the deckhands aren't permanent people on the ship. They're the ones that get changed out almost all the time. Every time they dock, just about. You have a few of them that end up getting drunk or whatever and not coming back to the ship, so they just hire a few more. You know.
Oh my god, of all people, do not fuck with a surgeon.
Wu
He
Tang?
ain't nothing to fuck with.
You like my names?
Tang. Yeah, Scabby
Yeah.
McScabbington.
Give it a couple years and you'll have an interesting relationship with a lot of them.
So the powder monkey isn't really a powder monkey, but he's kind of in charge of what artillery is on the ship, which is not gunpowder based. It's ballistas and catapults. But on this ship it'd just be ballistas.
I always imagined him as making weird bolts to fire out of them as well that did like different things.
Yeah, more than likely he didn't get his name for nothing. And yes, he's missing fingers and toes and stuff. So Stub, Stub is quite the character. But yeah, I had a lot of fun making these characters. So
Well,
and no, I didn't make character sheets for them. I don't want to have to, so please don't make me.
I have a character sheet for a couple of
Yeah, you do. I don't.
them.
All right, so moving along, you guys leave the ship. Well, Jack is gonna be like, well, I'll see you back here in 3 days. Be
That
safe.
sounds good.
I've heard the streets are dangerous these days.
You aren't kidding.
Alrighty, and then we'll go back to the city map. And the party then will go ahead and move off the dock. It is now well and goodly dark.
Yep, and
Good.
I am keeping an eye out again.
Okay. You can roll if you like.
Man, my rolls are not great tonight.
Good thing your passive is still there, right?
Yeah, it's only one more than that. So.
Still more. uh, so where are you headed?
I'd be keeping an eye out too, but I don't have to roll for that if you want to go with my passive.
Okay, what is your passive?
15.
Okay. What's the highest passive in the group? 15?
Probably Kai.
Well, Kai's not here,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, okay.
15.
They're feeling sick.
Yeah, Kai's not feeling well, so he went back to the inn. But 15 is the
Yeah.
highest?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm for it.
That's really what I need to know is the highest person, and then I'll go off individuals when it matters. All right. So where you guys headed?
Well, upper city near the wall. Do I have a general idea of where this hideout is?
No, you just were told that it's in the upper city near the wall. That's all you got out
All right.
of them.
Then we're going to head to the upper city. Start along the wall. I want to keep my eye out. I don't know if this would be perception or investigation for specifically any marks on the walls that might mark a location as something relating to the Black Hammer, or for individuals wearing clothing that I know is of the Black Hammer.
Okay. All right. So, is the rest of the party in agreement before I'm
Yep.
okay?
Sure.
So you, you guys.
I guess as we're walking, I'll reapply my mage armor because it's probably been a little while. So
It's been a day. All day.
well,
you know.
I had it on earlier today, but yeah. Anyway, I'll just redo it as we're walking.
If it's not over with, it isn't going to last for too much longer. So,
Yeah. So
all right. So, what route are you planning on taking to the upper city? Along the docks? What are we doing?
do we have to get through the gates first to walk along the wall, or
Well, you're in the lower city right now.
yeah? I figured we'd have to go through one of the gates first.
Yeah. You're not climbing over the wall. Well,
Over.
not easily.
So where do you think we should go, Alabaster?
Either way, I think it might be safer to stick near the docks.
Why don't you lead the way? You know the town a little bit better than we do, I think.
You guys have the ability to move that marker, so.
I don't know where it's at, so
Here.
oh, there it is. Yeah, just
Fine.
along the dock to like we'll just go along the dock area for
Okay.
now.
So you travel along the docks, sticking close to the water. You see some guards. There's still people roaming around. It's starting to get pretty cold. Yeah, just still winter. But you make your way along the docks, and you pass quite a few taverns with bawdy music and drunken revelry. People stumbling around. A lot of seamen,
Yeah.
wandering around. Make your way up to right about halfway up this long stretch, and let's see. Just checking something real quick. All right, there is. As you're walking along, keeping an eye out. You don't see anything. The way is lit pretty well. Obviously, the
Mhm.
water on the left is dark, and you can hear the waves, washing up. It's a constant noise between that and the taverns and whatnot that you're passing by. It's actually fairly noisy. Um, as you are walking along, there's a flash of light as Eidolon is suddenly struck by a bolt of force.
Eek.
Wasn't me this time.
I believe a 17 will hit you, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends if I have a reaction, because I could do shield. But if it's a surprise, then that's fine.
It's a surprise. You're definitely
Yeah,
completely clueless.
Do I
only
know?
15 AC.
Do I know the thing about her?
Yes, you're aware.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Did I see what direction that came from?
no, you
All
don't.
right. Are there buildings nearby?
But Eidolon, you are going to take 10 points of force damage from the
Ah,
shot. There's
something hit.
an explosion like a boom as it hits, but other than that flash of it hitting him, you don't see anything.
Okay. Is there a building nearby?
There's buildings on both on both sides of you.
Towards deeper into the city?
Yeah, you can head deeper into the city.
I want to grab Eidolon. Is there a tavern or a store anywhere near me?
I think since you're making plans, we should roll for initiative.
Okay.
I don't have tokens for you here, but we'll just do it on the fly.
Yikes.
Oof.
Ugh, the one time I get a good initiative.
Okay, cool. So Eidolon, you get to go first after this shot. Alabaster starts to grab you, but
What about Ezra?
Oh, where's Ezra?
There you go.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
Eidolon gets to go first still.
Okay. Alright. And so I'm assuming we're all kind of bunched up,
At the moment,
or
yeah.
and then I can't tell where I got hit from, like, or
Nope.
from like the force of impact. It doesn't just hit me.
It hit you from the front.
Okay.
So it would have knocked you back several steps.
I
Or a
will.
step or two, anyways.
I'll keep with what I was trying to do last time, and I will turn myself invisible.
Okay.
And
Cast
then I'll
invisibility.
It's been
um,
disintegrated.
that one hurt, guys. And then I'll, I guess, like bonus action, I'll just try to look, see if I can see where I was shot from, and I'll also move like maybe 10 feet away, so I'm not in the same position.
Well, your bonus action isn't going to be enough for you to be able to search.
Yeah,
So,
that's fine. And I'll just kind of move and be like, I'm fine. Just go get her, get them. Sorry.
and you just turned your only yourself invisible, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So next would be me. So nothing happens. It is now Alabaster's turn.
Cool. So Eidolon's gone. Who else? All right. There's a building nearby. I'd like to run towards it and try and take cover against the majority of the city.
Okay.
So in an alleyway or something.
Right. Go ahead and if you're trying to hide, make a stealth roll.
I'll flip up my hood as well.
Okay.
Boom.
Nice.
28. And hiding's my bonus action. So I'll just start moving in a direction towards deeper into the city.
Okay.
Trying to stick near buildings.
Cool. All right. If you are done, then we'll go ahead and let Ulver go next.
I'll go ahead and head over in the direction that Alabaster started to go, and then I no longer see him. And I'll
Chameleon
just get,
cloak.
yeah. So I will just try to get some cover, um, seeing that Eidolon was knocked backwards. I'm pretty sure it was from the front, so I'll do that. And then I'll peek around the corner just to see if I can. Can I use my action to look?
Around the corner.
Yeah, just to see if I can find where this came from.
Sure. Go ahead and make a perception roll.
Okie dokie. See if it works. I'm gonna guide myself as well, if that's all right.
Casting guidance as an action and
Oh, that's
using
right. I can't do
perception.
that. Never mind. Then I can't. Yeah, you're right.
Shape changing is a bonus
Oh,
action
hey,
for you, isn't it?
it is, but it depends on what I got things. So I got to know what I'm up against.
So
So 23.
you look around the corner and kind of study the end of the building. You see wedge shaped where the road splits ahead in two different directions after another intersection clear down there, and on the tall wedge shaped building on the end of it, you do see a cloak flutter up for just a second from the
I
roof.
will telepathically let Ezra know where it's at, what I saw,
Okay.
and I will. Can I do that to two people? I'm sure three people would be
You're
too much,
stretching
but
your turn out pretty big here.
okay. Then I'll just stick with that with Ezra since I can see him.
I mean, you're basically just giving him an image of what you saw.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, that's funny. Yeah. So Ezra, your turn.
I'm gonna go pretty much where near over is. Set my back up against one of the walls, but distinctively not duck behind cover. So there's only like 3 sides people can come at me at, but I'm not in cover.
So you're out on the street still?
Yep, just with my back to the wall,
Okay.
and looking generally towards where Ulfer was showing me.
Okay. So that leaves you out in the open. All right. So back to Eidolon then. Eidolon, you are invisible and off the main street.
Alright. I'll kind of just get closer to where Ezra and Ulver are, and then I'll. I guess now I'll take an action to look,
Oh, to
see if I can
peek around the
see.
corner.
See, yeah.
Oh, roll perception. You're looking down the road with there's still people staggering around. There's lights. There's a little bit of a breeze, but you don't see anything that looks dangerous per se. You see some guards walking down the street towards you, about 100 feet further along the road. They don't even seem to know that anything's going on.
Alright, I'll just let Ezra and Ulver know I'm nearby, so they don't freak out because they hear her voice.
All right, and you're done.
That's it.
Warn us before you say that.
Boo.
Yeah, that was spooky.
Ah! Where'd you come from?
Shh.
You hear another yell, an invisible yell. Ah! You scared me.
That's hilarious. All right, Ezra. As you're sitting there, you get this overwhelming feeling that something is looking at you.
All right. Did I see where that came from?
There's no muzzle flash or anything to see, so no. 18 hit you?
Yes, that's my armor class.
All right, so you were gonna take 15 points of force damage.
All right.
As you just catch a glimpse of a white globule like thing as it strikes you because you're paying attention. So
If I look in that direction, I don't see where it came from.
it appears
Or-
it appears only when it strikes you.
Okay.
The shot does. It's invisible the rest of the time. You now know this.
Okay. Visible attackers.
Definitely came from up the street, though. I mean, the way it impacted you would tell you that.
The plan was to hellish rebuke them, but I can't do that unless I see them. So
Weren't you told where to look? Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
so you know you're looking down there.
There's a creature within 60 feet you can see. Can I see them technically?
No, they're outside of 60 feet
Oh, okay.
and in darkness. So
I can see in dark. That's not a problem.
not that far. You can't.
Yeah.
So, because it is like down here,
Okay.
long ways away. Yeah, and that's it. So we'll just go back to. Let's see who was next. It was Alabaster.
Sure. So I was pointed them out. They wouldn't be able to see me from where I'm at.
Oh, that guard definitely noticed you get shot.
Then
So, what's that?
they wouldn't be able to see me where I'm at.
No, you're out of
Cool.
sight.
I will stealth back in the opposite direction of the docks. Um, this way. Well, not really stealth. Just make sure I'm out of eyesight. And then I will cast disguise self on myself, and make it look like I am a man, human, kind of a brown, scruffy beard, balding head. I've got the little ring of shininess. Um, some fine but not really rich clothing. It's a little bit torn on the arms or something. And then I'll stumble back into the street, back from where we came, and start walking down the docks that direction.
Okay. So you step back out onto the street and you see a pair of guards. One of them stares at Ezra, claps his friend on the shoulder, and says, and pointing that direction, starts to run over, yelling, "Are you all right?" to Ezra.
Or I'll just get a concerned look on my face. If I need to roll deception or something, let me know.
No,
But
that's
yeah.
fine. All right, so yeah, let's have you go ahead and make a deception roll. Actually,
All right.
or a performance roll. My mistake.
Ugh! Do I get advantage because I'm using a spell?
Yeah, I'll let you have advantage
Okay, cool. Performance. Yay.
because you're trying to act like somebody you're not.
18. Is it one could argue that could be deception?
Where is it? There it is. Okay. Nice.
That's unfortunate. You know, if I had deception there, you know what that'd be instead? That'd be a 26.
I should hide those rolls, honestly.
Well, we see the name too, you know. So.
Oh, it used to hide those. Must have changed. Must have updated again. Dang it. Oh well, I'll fix it later.
It's not like I didn't know.
Yeah, it's not like all of you didn't know. I'm not really worried about it. Anyways, all right.
Hey.
What? Your cat is pestering me. Anyways, cool. All right, so Alabaster's done. Moving on to Ulver.
Should be over.
This is so sad.
I'm gonna to the these are guards, right? You said, or
Yeah.
sailor guards. Okay. I'm gonna whisper loudly enough for them to hear. Go away! There's someone attacking. Don't get in the line of fire. Somebody's attacking us. And I'll point up towards the direction that's coming from.
The guards just, I mean, they haven't even completed running your direction. So you're going to run,
I'll
are you
tell
going to
them
run
that.
out to intercept them? They're running in the direction of Ezra, yelling. You know, one of them yelled, "Are you all right?" But
Yeah,
they
and
haven't
Ezra's right next to
gotten
me,
there yet.
so it's coming my direction.
Yeah, but I mean, they haven't
Yeah.
gotten there yet. So to yell at them, you're kind of gonna have to lean around the corner and yell at them. And I'm not sure if you want to do that, so I'm just making sure.
I guess if I don't see, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I don't see them, but I know that they're coming. I should be able to hear them. I'll tell them just to don't get in the line of sight
Okay.
and point out where it's coming from, and then in the direction it's coming from. Anyway, I'm not gonna point directly at Terasai. I don't want to tip her off that I know exactly where she's at. Just that, in some general direction that way.
Sure. I added you guys to the the tracker now, so I can actually keep track of freaking. Let's see, I got 15.
You can't add it though.
Yeah,
Or
it's
I
not
can't.
letting me do anything.
Oh, okay. I'll have to do it. That's fine.
Roughly how many feet would you say they are from where they planted? Or basically, I saw that shot come from.
600,
600. Okay.
Right.
like longbow range. Let's see, over was 9.16.
9.16.
Alabaster was 10.18. Ezra was 8. Eidolon was 19.1. You rolled really well, didn't you? And I haven't rolled
First time.
Haven't rolled the guards yet. Let me go ahead and do that. So 20 and 8. Cool. Sort it. And then we're currently on whose turn? Ulver's?
Fine. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, over.
The only thing that I would attempt to do, if I have the action economy for it, would be to ask Ezra if he could get us to Arasai, or to whoever this is.
I can get us 500 feet closer.
You should
So
do
it
that
depends.
with
Is
me.
You left. That Alabasta always leaving us.
You know me.
Comes back riding the Minotaur.
Yeah. Get the crew. Get the crew. Some of them are pretty tough.
Not Blackjack.
Not Blackjack. Blackjack
Although-
is not tough.
He does have some magic items.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, no, not yet. He doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
No.
He does. They were his previous captains.
Oh, that's right.
They got taken from him.
I forgot about those. My bad.
Yeah.
Over.
They're
You done?
pretty damn good ones.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then the other guard that was kind of being hauled along is also going to continue, going to move forward at this point. Like I said, they don't quite make it to you this turn. I think I'm going to basically say that they both move at the same time here. So, they'll move at the slowest initiative since they're running together. We'll say that they go ahead and, because they weren't really, what were they, 100 feet, and they're running. No, they're not quite there. Okay, so they make it within like 20 feet of you at this point. But not quite there.
As I'm trying to wave them off.
They look, both of them, I guess in this case, guard number 2, looks confused, but he sees the injury to Ezra and is going to continue, obviously. Ezra, your turn.
Bolivar's gonna hate us.
I'm going to yell at them very angrily, get to cover, dipshits, and then I'm going to grab over, and I'm going to dimension door 500 feet towards where we saw them.
All right. So that'll put you about in the intersection there, the 5-way intersection up the road. So you show up in that intersection. A couple passers-by are startled suddenly by your appearance.
Oh, and then I have to declare it, so as a bonus action, I'm summoning my sword.
Okay.
It's going to cause a panic that I just teleported with a tiny man and just summoned a great sword, but...
There's going to be some looking. Let me make a couple rolls.
It makes light, doesn't it?
Okay. We'll get to the reaction to that later. Done?
Actually, I'll probably yell out to the crowd, "Get to cover!"
A lot of them freeze. Since you just showed up, pulled a great sword and yelled, get to cover." A bunch of people freeze. There's a lot of people not sure what's going on.
It's like these people haven't lived in a fantasy world their whole life. They should be commonplace. Oh, there's a wizard fight in the street. Everyone get out.
You can see the building in front of you that you know that the sniper was on top of. Is 4 stories tall, and you can't currently see the sniper.
Get you. But all this turn because it's over.
Okay. And so the first guard would go here, but like I said, I'm going to have them go together at the slowest initiative, so we'll just pass that. Idle, on your turn.
All right. I'll see the guards come in and then turn back, like, "Hey guys, we should go."
They're just gone.
Eidolon.
Not again. Ah,
Says
Alright, who
this
said that?
random dude walking by you.
I'm invisible, by the way.
Oh. Well. Oh well.
One well.
uh,
Ah, ah, ah.
kind of a.
Can I see at least where Ezra bamfed to? Like down the street?
There would have been, a brief flash of light. What would you say? What color?
Oh, we'll say silvery.
That's what I was thinking, but I wanted to make sure. So a little flash of silvery light as he left, and another one where he appeared at. Enough to where you could tell where he went. And see clear line of sight down the road.
Well, since I don't know, Alabaster turned into an old man, and then the rest of my party left. I'm gonna start.
Just Baldo.
Okay,
He starts
it's
singing all by himself.
all by myself. And then I'll start mobily running towards them.
Oh, down the road?
Yeah, guys, don't forget me.
You're invisible at least, right? There's not too much traffic,
Yeah.
so it's easy to avoid people. The guards, probably come to a screeching halt when they disappear and start looking around. Even though it's not quite their turn, I mean, that would be their reaction, just so everybody knows. Done?
Yeah, just running. Whatever, I'll do my full turn for running.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's it.
Cool. All right. Alabaster, your turn.
Okay. Well, as far as I know, I'm good. I'm just going to walk down the street as I'm walking past these.
Guards.
Well, yeah, as I'm walking past the guards who look very concerned, right?
Yeah, they're looking around like, where'd they go?
Kind of speed up and be like, no, I hope they don't come after me. I'm just a civilian.
Oh, God.
Do the power walk and the specifically not looking at them.
You just gotta bring out your inner NPC.
Mm-hmm.
What
Keep
the?
walking.
And then just start walking normal, but do the walking movement, but into a wall.
There's been a murder here. Walk, walk, walk.
Go full Bethesda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody's
All right.
creeping here.
That's all. I'm just walking out. Must have been the wind. Ugh!
Gosh, it's terrible. All right, are you done?
Yeah.
All right, Older, you stand in the city streets. I'm going to go ahead and move the marker to where you guys are, since that's probably where the action's going to be. There.
So, are the I'll pull Ezra along, trying to get into the crowd.
Oh, well,
Try and hide.
there isn't a crowd.
Oh, there isn't a crowd.
There's a few people in the area, and you do notice that a guard has noticed your arrival. He's currently slapping his buddy and pointing in your direction.
If it's any change, there is still an arrow sticking out of me.
It's not an arrow. It
Or
was
a bolt.
it was a bolt of force, so it left nothing.
Oh, that's right.
You got
Okay.
hit by a force object of magical nature.
So I will start dragging Ezra along, and at the same time, I'll go ahead and cast Cure Wounds on him.
Okay.
And let me do that real quick.
And then are you gonna hold your move? I'll let you hold your movement like I've been doing with the guards, and you can move with him where he goes, if you choose.
So you get 11 points back.
Because these are kind of different circumstances.
And basically, as I'm doing this, I'm gonna ask him, "Can you get us all the way up there, or should I just go on up there? I can get there pretty quick." And then that's it. I'll wait for your response when it's your turn.
Uh,
I mean, he could respond real quick as
yeah,
long as it's quick.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
we can get up there.
Okay. So then I will. I'll just pull off then. Other than just pulling him with me, try to get out of the way so we're not going to be as easy to see.
So where are you headed? Exactly?
Probably, if we're there, we're probably going to head forward, but off to one of the sides. So let's say it looks like we're closer to the left-hand side, so that's where we'll be heading out over there, trying to get out of line of sight.
Okay. And you're going to move on his turn? Or on your own?
Well,
Do you want to
on
stay
my-
together or separate?
oh yeah, stay together. Yeah, we want
Okay.
to stay together since we can
Just
get up there.
just for, cosmetics, like how are you moving together or apart? That's all I wanted to know.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
And you're done?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so this is the guard that's way back there. They're still looking around. At this point, I'm thinking I'm just gonna drop this guard from initiative and re-roll for the other ones.
Huh? Must have been the wind.
I mean, they haven't given up, but there's nothing for them to see at the moment. So nobody cares, Momo. Go away. That's my cat. All right, so
How many guards are there? 2 or more?
there are 2 that are close to where you guys are.
Yeah, in front of us. Okay.
They seem to get roam in pairs, so or more.
All right.
Lone guards and all that, All right, so Ezra, your turn.
All right. Uh, looks like all these shots have been coming from one place, right?
That's up to you to decide.
Yeah.
If you'd like to make an investigation check, I can perhaps give you a more definitive answer than that, but that's up to you.
I'm just gonna see if I can. I want to aim a cone of cold, but trying to not hit any civilian.
Well, it's at least 100 feet to where she was, so
Well, it's range 60, so I guess I can only cover 30 on my own.
and she's, I mean,
Yeah.
the top of the roof when you're looking up at it is out of sight. So
Yeah, so they'd be blocked. Oh, nice. I can cast slow, which is 120 feet, and I don't need to see it. I just need to see this point in which I am centering it. So I'm going to point at the corner of the building that I can see,
Okay.
and it's a 40-foot cube starting from there. And if any enemies are stuck in it up to 5, I can slow them.
Okay.
So it is a Constitution's Wisdom save
Okay.
of 16.
Okay. So you cast your spell, and let me see here. Okay, you cast your spell. Of course, you have no idea if it had any effect or not because you can't see.
That'll be my turn for this time.
Okay. The guard that was slapping his buddy, now both of them start to walk over your direction. They're looking around a bit, like, and then they're looking at you, and then one of them yells, "What are you up to?"
Invisible shooters.
Where?
I'll point up towards where it's coming from.
They crane their necks and look up. I don't see anything.
That's the invisible part.
What are they shooting?
Me.
With what?
Some type of force bolt.
They make it.
Magic.
They make it over towards you, Ezra. Right. So, Eidolon, you're gonna keep running down towards them, right?
Yeah.
Right. And Alabaster, you're gonna keep walking that direction.
Yep.
Okay. And Olver, were you going to do anything?
Well, I was waiting to get up. I don't want to or wild shape yet, because it'll ruin what I might be able to do.
Okay. Well, the guards are coming your direction, and they seem perturbed.
Yeah, I'll tell them we've been attacked. There's a couple of guards way down the way that saw my friend get hit. We came here to get out of the way and to get closer to find out what in the world is attacking him. But they're attacking with magic.
Okay.
I'm still pointing up.
The guards are trying to examine you to see if there's any damage that they can see. So a force bolt not gonna leave a visible mark that they can really see through your armor. Since it wasn't a headshot or something like that, you know. And it didn't sound like you were trying to show them the damage either, so
No, I'm more on the alert side.
they all right, make a persuasion roll for me, Olver.
I take it that's probably without advantage.
Without advantage, yep.
Persuasion.
Unless you have something
Uh,
else that gives you advantage besides,
I mean,
me deciding to give you advantage because I'm not going to.
yeah. I mean, I'd have to cast a spell to do that, and it's not really my turn. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that would look suspicious. 11.
Yeah, they don't look like they believe you.
Yeah.
They seem suspicious. All right.
All right. So, are we? I mean, are we still in initiative right now, or?
Nothing's happened in 2 rounds. So
Okay. So then, I guess what I'll tell them then is, look, this is the second night in a row we've been attacked. We came here just last night, and someone's attacking us, and we don't know why.
I'd like to talk to your manager.
Yeah. Oh, I want to talk to
Boulevard.
Boulevard.
Yeah. He'll love to hear from us getting in fights in the streets.
the one guard turns to the other one and says, "Doc, what do you think?" He goes, "I don't know, D. I think we need to take him to go see Co." Right, then, what are your names, citizens?
I'll look
Ezra.
over at Ezra and say, "You want to do this, or do you want to go and find out where they're at and why and where they went?"
It's not really my turn, but if we're talking, can I like
We're just
sidestep?
we're out of combat at this point.
Okay, can I like kind of sidestep in between them and the building so that if I get shot, it hits them instead? If there's no one there, you won't mind being a shield. I won't say that.
And so Eidolon, you come running up in just a little bit. So
I can also dismiss my sword.
are you going to?
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll pocket it in a dimension, so it just fades.
And I'll just once I reach the party, I'll stay invisible and just kind of keep an eye out.
Okay. And then Alabaster, you come walking up that direction. But it's up to you what you want to do. The guards are still trying to question you. Like, what did you see? Well, actually, they asked you what your names are first. So, are you going to answer that, or?
Oh,
Sure, I think Ezra already did.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Ezra, and we should meet up with those guards down the way that saw us earlier.
Just stay out of the street. I'd
Seems
rather not get shot in the back.
seems perfectly safe to me, Ezra.
Because they were invisible.
Tell you what, why don't you walk right behind us, and we'll just use you as cover. How's that sound?
Hey, Doc, says the other one. What were the names of those people we were supposed to keep an eye out for again? I think one of them's name was Ezra.
Oh, you friends of Bolivar?
Well, we worked
We'd
for
like to talk to
him.
Boulevard.
I am Private Darkstalker, and this is Private D Rising.
And it continues.
E-Riser. Alright.
So, you were attacked? Well, you said you got hit. Let me see. He says, if you don't mind, I'd like to examine the wound.
Do you know what magic wounds look like? Have you ever seen one?
No, but if he's hurt, he should be
Then
hurt,
how
right?
do you know?
I took some impact what's under my armor, and I'd rather not take that off right now.
He takes a look at your armor. Let's see. Yeah. He goes, yeah, you're right. I'm not used to looking for that. Well, it doesn't look like there's anything out here, citizen. Where did you see this person that was attacking you?
On top of that building right there.
On top of the building up there.
We
Well,
probably have a pretty good description
one
of
of
who it is
it.
because they've been messing with us ever since we got here.
Dee Dee steps back and looks up on try to crane the neck and looking up there like, I don't see anybody up there now.
I think that's the point.
And Darkstalker says, "Look, I don't want to have to report this to Captain Kopani, but just stay out of trouble and maybe lay off the booze a little bit. Come on, Dee Dee, let's go." And they turn and just kind of walk away.
I'll just whisper at Ezra, well, not that different from Luskin then.
Yeah, same old, same old.
While that conversation was going on, while I was like looking up, could I see anything?
Make a perception roll. Your passive isn't high enough, that's for sure.
Hey, good roll.
You look up there, and you can see a dark piece of cloth that is clinging to one of the edge tiles on top of the roof.
All right. I'll wait for the guards to leave, or at least within earshot.
Yeah, they just walk down to the southwest, and then walk around a corner and disappear. The other guards down to the south of you can see them walking back your general direction, looking back and forth around, but they haven't made it within a distance where they can see you yet. At least not clearly.
I'll make sure to go stand in between Ezra and Ulver and say, "Hey guys, it's me, Eidolon. I see something up there. I've been here the whole time, don't worry.
Hey, what do you see?
I see some cloth up there, or looks like something's up there.
Can I
Let's go
see it?
before the guards get here."
Can I see it without being obvious that I'm looking at it? Just kind of look from the out of the corner of my eye, but
Make a perception roll. Your passive is not high enough.
it really is not.
Dark scrap of cloth on a dark edge of a roof. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Nope.
can't.
No, he's trying to show it to you, but you can't make it out, and you can't see his arm to see what he's pointing at. So,
I am pointing to you, by the way.
Like, no, right there. It keeps
Right there, look, I'm
Look.
pointing right at it.
follow my finger.
Is there any way to get up there fast?
there's a
Yep.
I can take one person up there.
you hear a thumping noise as you hear something land off to the side of the building, just to the north of you.
Okay. And I'll look.
Well, looking in that direction, you don't see anything immediately. It would have been on the side of the building that the person was standing on.
Oh, see that?
I did. I want to take this time to activate my third eye. Something I haven't done yet.
About now, Alabaster, you would stroll up because you weren't moving as fast. It's up to you what you want to do.
Keep on going. I'm headed towards the upper city still.
Okay.
When I'm passing by
Towards the heap gate.
towards the yes.
Okay.
When I'm passing by, I'll just when I'm passing by Over and Ezra, I'll just pull out the Arrow of Yondu and hold it at my side. And then see if they notice it. Oh.
See if I can notice.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess not actively looking for it, so it'd just be passive
It's
perception.
just passive.
15.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's trying to be obvious, so your passive would only
To them,
be
yeah.
like 10 or so. So
I don't know. This peasant's super annoying. I don't know why. I don't trust him.
And then as I'm passing him, slide it back up my sleeve.
I will telepathically say he was up on top of that building and we heard a thump on the one side. We don't know where she's at. Or it's at. They're at.
I want to go investigate the thump.
which is the same direction that Alabaster is currently going. So you walk up to the corner of the building, and what you find is a small wooden crate, about a foot cube. Okay, and somebody has attached a padded pillow to one side of it. And it has obviously fallen from a decent height because it's part of it's broken and splintered from the impact. Lying nearby, you see two partially glowing oblong devices. They're glowing slightly blue-white.
Is this just Alabaster that sees this right now?
Alabaster and Eidolon both went that direction, so...
Okay.
I don't want to.
What's that?
Eidolon's invisible still, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so my third eye ability is something I got from level 10, but I can choose different types of vision.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to choose the invisible. I can see invisible creatures or objects within 10 feet.
Okay.
So that just stays up for me until I take a short rest.
Okay.
So I don't know, if anything is invisible within 10 feet.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
And then, yeah, I'll just look down and kind of investigate these oblong shapes.
You can see that they're glowing faintly blue-white, but the glow is slowly fading away.
Would I know what these are?
Make
Or I've ever seen these?
Make an Arcana check.
Nice.
That is good enough. Looking at these, you realize that these semi-precious stones, which they're still worth something, were enchanted with some kind of an enchantment that has now been used and has faded away, or is in the process of the last remnants of it are fading away. If you wanted to try to identify what was in these things, you'd better do it quickly.
I can't. I can only identify ritually right now, I think. Let me check. Yeah, it'd take me 10 minutes.
Okay.
But I'll leave them. I don't want to touch them.
Okay.
And then I'll just look up and see if I can see anything, maybe where this fell from, the crate.
Looking up, you can see that the A-frame peak of the roof slants down towards this location. It's highly likely that the crate and these objects fell from the very location that the sniper was in.
All right. Let's see if I can still, or I'll let someone else go. I don't want to take up all the time.
No,
Okay,
you're
so
fine.
while you're busy doing that, what's everybody else doing?
Uh,
I just didn't know if I wanted to reveal myself yet.
Afraid I'm not that useful outside of a fight right now, so
well, and I don't want
All
to
right.
reveal too much about myself at the moment either, with prying eyes and people around, and the guards
All right.
on site. So we're a good focal point if we're being watched. That's how I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to look down the other alley or the other street and see if anything goes. Because, I mean, something drops on one side. I want to see if that was a distraction or something. So I
Oh,
guess I'll
you
start
go,
walking in that direction.
you're gonna walk around the other side.
Yeah, I'll just start walking around that way. See,
Okay, so you walk around the other side, look around. You don't see anything but some refuse.
the people down there.
There's a few people, yeah. Down all these streets are still a few people. It's not that late yet. It's cold though. It's getting colder. Just a slight
And
breeze, clear sky overhead.
I'll come back and I'll say, Isra, I can take the skies and see if I can find what's going on.
And Alabaster, you still walking up to the heap gate?
Yup.
There you go.
Ezra, are you there?
yes.
Okay. Did you hear me?
No.
Oh, I just told you quietly that I can take the skies and keep a lookout,
All
see
right.
if I can find anything suspicious. Uh, if anything, we'll meet up back at the Elf Song.
Okay.
Or, yeah, that'll be the ultimate place tonight. But I'll try to keep an eye on all of them too. So I would like to find a quiet, very secluded spot to wild shape into an owl.
Okay, so you go down an alleyway. As you're getting ready to wild shape, Luma abandons you for the skies
Yeah,
herself.
yep. I'll tell her to keep an eye out. We'll fly close.
She says she's going back to the inn.
Oh, okay.
It's cold and she's tired of being out here. And to be careful.
Right. So then I will, as long as looks like nobody's watching, I'll go ahead and wild shape into a normal owl. Nothing spiffy.
Okay.
And then I'll take off and search around to see if I can find any movement up on the rooftops or any suspicious, slinking around or anything at all.
Okay. And what are the rest of you guys going to do?
Um, I will. And are the those orbs still glowing or fading, or have they faded by now?
I mean, they're fading quick. They're not quite gone. They'll be gone in a couple of minutes.
I'll see if I can see Over and Ezra still standing where they were.
I'm still there. Over.
I'll telepathically link up with him.
Okay.
Hey, Ezra.
Yep.
Come over here.
All right, I'll start heading that way.
Where's Over?
Scouting ahead. They'll meet us at the Elf Song if we get separated.
Have you seen Alabaster?
He's sneaking.
Okay. So I found these weird orbs. I think they're enchanted with some sort of magic, but they're fading quick. And this weird crate with a pillow on it. but I don't know if I could identify it, but it'll take a few minutes, and I don't want to get ambushed.
All right, good doing it now,
All right,
and then I'll just keep an eye out.
I will then drop my invisibility and begin ritually casting Identify.
Before you start, make an Arcana check for me. So you automatically realize you do not have time to cast
Okay,
a
that's what I
ritual identification spell before the magic will have faded too much from these for you to be able to identify him. If you
and I would know
couldn't,
that if they faded, I can't identify them later.
there's no magic. There's not going to be enough magic left in him. There's only a remnant in him as it is, and you'd only get some information even if you could do it now. But you know, it won't take long at all before the longer it goes, the less you're going to get out of it. And by the time
Okay.
10 minutes has gone by, you're going to get
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. All right, retcon that. Scratch that if I knew that.
Yep, that's
I'll
why
be like,
I had you roll it.
I'll say, Ezra, I'm pretty sure this came from up top, and I'll again invisibly point up. And can you get us up there real quick? Maybe they're still up there.
I'll grab him and use my dimension door.
And just trying to get to where I think the crate fell from. You know, like where I saw the cloth from.
To the ridge of the roof?
Yeah.
Is that where you're aiming, Ezra?
Yeah.
Okay. So poof, you appear up on top of the ridge of the roof. Glancing around, you can see that there's a tuft of black cloth snagged to a tile on the edge nearby. And you can see that there's actually a blanket still laying across the tiles on the ridge where somebody was laying.
And I don't see anything invisible.
You do not.
So now I'm just gonna take a swipe over the blanket in case he's still there.
I mean, swipe, you know? Nothing there.
Just in case.
Looks like the sniper abandoned ship. So
I'm gonna swoop by him, and because I assume I can see this since I'm flying and up above in an owl
sure.
with dark vision, and I'm gonna say, pick that up and take it with.
Yeah.
I'll swoop
Take
by
the-
again. I need it.
I'll shove it in my bag.
Wait, are
Like
you
it.
visible or invisible right now?
Invisible still.
But you're with Ezra.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm telling Ezra this.
Okay, then Ezra can do it.
relaying it.
I'll take it, and then it turns invisible.
You taking the blanket or the scrap of cloth or both?
Yeah, both.
Okay. So make sure you write down that you have a scrap of black cloth belonging to a cloak. Obviously to a cloak. It's thick material.
They're all black, both of them.
The blanket is kind of a really, really dark blue.
Okay.
And it smells kind of musky. Like a sweet, musky smell.
Okay. All right. And then do we see anything else on the roof? Like maybe footprints, or see like if an escape route they went to?
No. You don't see any footprints in the area. There's no snow on the roofs because you had that warm up session, that section of weather that melted everything off. But you do see a couple of broken tiles that had up the ridge further away from the edge. There's a couple of broken tiles.
While he's looking,
Alright.
is there anything that Oliver sees?
Oliver, as you're flying around, go ahead and make a perception check for me with advantage.
With advantage. Okay. He doesn't get advantage on. Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. You're right.
And by this time, Alabaster, you probably make it to the heap gate.
Cool.
Imagine you're just going to go through it. Where are you headed?
Yep. Straight north to the wall of the city.
Okay.
I'm gonna go along the wall, looking at the buildings and the wall for any symbols that could be the Black Hammer, and looking for the shady figures as well.
Okay.
I don't know if that would be a roll.
Oh man, you rolled like crap.
Yeah, the whole night. Almost. I've had one decent roll, and that's it all night tonight. I am worthless.
So I mean, you don't see anything.
Okay. I keep looking.
Whether there's anything there or not, you know.
Yeah. But it's sad because I have to use the owl's perception, and it's a little bit worse, but it wouldn't have done much more, so.
Yeah, not with a 7.
Nope.
Okay, so it's gonna take Alabaster a little while to walk to the wall. What else are you guys doing?
Alright. Well, it doesn't look like they're here anymore. Maybe we should go meet up with Alabaster. Do you remember what he looked like? Or was he disguised at all?
I mean, yeah, that would.
Actually, Oliver, your passive perception would be higher than that. So,
Oh, right.
you did. I forget that sometimes. I apologize, but you would have
I
noticed
forgot.
that there is a rope attached to the roof on the far side of the ridge from where they're at.
Okay.
That goes
So
down at an angle.
I'll swoop down and take a look at that real fast, see if there's anything I can see.
You take a look at it. You see that it runs down at an angle. It's pretty tight, and at the bottom, it's attached to a wall. And dangling from it there, you see an old leather belt.
Okay. I will take a quick circle around the area just to see if I can see anything, and if not, then I'm going to head back to Ezra and tell him what I saw.
Okay. Well, you do then. I mean, you go back and tell
I
Ezra.
didn't see it. Yeah. Okay.
No.
So, Ezra, there's a rope attached on the side of the building going down. There's a leather belt. Looks like they use it as a slide.
Alright. We're gonna try to follow. I can't dimension door down again.
Don't worry, I got us covered.
No.
Let me see real quick. Okay. All right. Let's go. I will drop my invisibility, and boo, here I am. I'll cast level 4 fly on me and Ezra.
No. Alright.
Nice.
It's not what I was expecting, but I'll take it.
Nice.
All right. Well, we got 10 minutes, so we can't linger too long.
Flying down and following trail here.
The rope.
Yep.
So as you get to the edge of the roof and you look around, you immediately notice it's obviously a zip line, right? Nearby, you see the tiles look like they may have been gouged by sharp objects, like it reminds you real heavily of you suddenly have a flashback of part of your time as a werewolf and the gouges you left in things. And you think, was there a werewolf up here at some point? Maybe chasing somebody onto a zip line? Hope they're okay. It's a crazy thought. And then you move on with your life and realize it's just a fantasy.
Wolf boy.
The last time, the image that came to your head was, it's some rock quarry or something. Anyways,
Interesting.
I'm just kidding. None of that's real. Moving on.
All right.
Now, is that the lie?
Mostly for Alabaster's benefit there, if he even got it. But moving on. You go.
Ezra scratching out all those notes. Crap.
This is what I should take the notes on.
Anyways, the rope goes down, attaches to a wall, like I mentioned, and then you can see a few footprints that head off to the north before they join with everything else and disappear. Booted, with a heel and everything.
I'll be swooping down to go down with them, wherever they're at.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel think maybe we should clue in these very, very great guards here and let them see this.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think we need to get to Alabaster. He may still be in danger.
That's also very true.
Screw the guards. The guards can do their jobs.
The guards
They
won't.
didn't believe you the first time, so
Well, it's
don't
over
worry.
to-
We'll take it up with Bolivar.
Yeah. Hopefully, they know where everybody was at last night, so they can locate the ones that actually saw what happened.
But I don't think we're gonna find this sneaky assassin. We need an assassin to find the assassin. And right now our assassin's gone.
I'll head up looking for Alabaster.
And I'll establish a mind link with you. So don't stay 100 feet away from me.
Alrighty.
And he said he was going north to the north gate part. I remember. We should head that way.
Alright. I got no problems at the North Gate.
Headed up to the heap gate.
Yeah. And Oliver's keeping a bird's eye view.
Okay. So you guys head up there. Alabaster, you definitely made it to the wall by now. And you begin walking along it, looking for any kind of symbols that you'd recognize. You actually find a disturbing amount of things scratched into the wall here. There's no buildings up against the wall, but you find quite a few so-and-so hearts, so-and-so, Dornrock is a dick, just random different things. But nothing about the Black Hammer. For a ways, you're probably going to make it. Well, are you looking really closely, or are you just kind of scanning?
Yeah, I'm like investigating the wall, looking for lots of traffic or shady people, etc.
Okay, well, go ahead then and make a perception roll for me, and then if it's lower than your Actually, no. Make an investigation check for me. So, okay, cool. I'll keep that in mind for this. But you don't find anything in the time it takes the party to reach Heapgate. Now the party reaches Heapgate. Where you guys gonna go?
Just start heading towards the north wall.
Okay.
That's where I knew he said he had to go, and then just see if we can find him.
All right. So the party heads towards the north wall, and you get up there, kind of look around. You see a figure moving along the wall, a couple 100 feet down, slowly examining the wall as it goes.
Towards him.
I'm gonna roll just so I can see if I can get rid of some of these crappy rolls.
Okay.
See what happens.
He rolls are all good.
All right, I got a 23. Finally, got a decent roll.
It's hilarious. All right, so you guys move down, catch up to this figure that's walking along the wall, Alabaster. You see the party move up behind you.
Finally, you made it. Good. Let's look around, see if we can spot anything. Human man, by the way.
Sorry, do I know you?
Eidolon. It's me, Alabaster. Christ.
Oh, right.
Man, we really need to teach you how to figure out people by voices.
I thought you were using an accent.
Do you want me to?
No.
Okay. Great. Let's try and find this hideout.
I'll also relay what we found to Alabaster.
All right. You guys continue searching along the wall.
Yep.
All right. Anybody that wants to be looking, make an investigation check.
Are you trying to do a Hackett's Quarry reference?
Yeah, the claw.
Was that
I was like trying
that
to
was the
hint
joke there?
because Ezra's a werewolf. And he's
Mhm.
on the roof and slid down the zip line to get away. Anyway.
That was a treehouse, though.
Come on, man! Should have been close enough to get it.
Ezra
It's a brand
is
new game.
Max Brindley now.
Haven't even played it yet.
Oh, well, you got spoilers now, because you totally don't learn
Oh,
in the first
I-
5 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I've seen part of it streamed.
Oh, okay.
But,
Okay.
but it looks like a cool game, but I just haven't played it all the way through.
That
We're not all the way done.
I shouldn't.
But-
Yeah, we're not done with it. Playing it for the kids, but that girl that's in the
It looks
picture.
cool though.
He does not like her. Ben doesn't.
It's her
Yeah,
mouth.
I heard
It's her
there's this-
mouth. It's just horrible. Anyways, moving on. There's it. Emma, I think her name is. Anyways, so you guys continue on. Let's see. In 18, so Eidolon, you find a set of numbers carved into the wall. It's 16 dash 25 dash 76 dash 2 dash 91.
Yeah, Alabaster. Look
Yeah?
at this.
Yes. All right.
What's that mean?
What's it say again? Hold on, sorry, it's spaced out.
16, 25, 76, 2, 91.
1675. Oh, 1625. Something, something,
Se-
something. Do I reckon
76, 2, 91.
25, 76 to 91?
Yeah. Is it like a combination or a code?
I don't know. Do I recognize anything specific about those numbers?
Make a history check.
Okay. Yeah.
Oof.
I mean, you definitely don't remember anything about those numbers.
I'll definitely jot them down so I remember them.
Yeah, I'll do that too.
Okay.
Is there anything about the numbers, anything around them
No,
that?
but they're not small. They're like 3 inches tall. The numbers are,
Mm-hmm.
and they're carved in sequence as I uh, gave them to you. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
oh yeah, I guess I could have put them in there for you. Sorry.
Just, yeah.
Look at that notes. Okie dokie.
So what exactly are we searching for, Alabaster?
Well, as far as I heard, all I really heard was that she had a hideout somewhere in the upper city near the wall.
Well, let's keep searching.
Yeah.
All right, so you continue down. You make it to the next tower. Kind of skirt along it. Move along the next section of wall. You can see a section of houses, buildings that are built right up against the wall ahead. But you just run into more of the same. Just people having carved random whatever on the wall for the most part. A lot of slander about this person, that person, some about the guards, against different lords and ladies, against other cities, against other countries. just the normal, garbage. But you get down to the buildings now, and now these buildings are built right up against the walls, so you can't follow the wall anymore. You'll have to step out and follow along the buildings.
Sure. Do that. Also, want to look for if any of the buildings seem to have roof access.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm also
You're kind of in
above.
a
Well,
new
I'm.
area here, so I'm going to have you re-roll your investigation checks.
Alrighty.
How would you want me to do that? As I'm
Jesus.
Ariel.
Well, for you, I think perception. So
Okay.
with advantage. Um, because you're not actively investigating the situation, you're just looking.
Right. A little better of a roll.
Anybody else want to roll before we continue on?
Uh, might as well.
Yeah. Might as well.
Wow.
Rolling really well tonight.
Everybody but Ezra.
Rolling real medium.
Real medium tonight, yeah. Anyway, so you guys continue on, following the buildings, looking around. Over, you do see several buildings that have, roof access in the area. Um, as you're flying along, in particular, you notice that in the shade of the tower at the corner, you can see that there's a ladder that has been laid down against the wall, kind of covered up by some debris that looks like it's tall enough to reach the top of the wall from the top of the house.
If okay, I
Um,
will. Go ahead.
Yeah, what do we see on the ground?
Near that same house, you do see that there is a hatch that leads inside of the house that is next to. From the ground, you guys are going along, and you don't see anything in the houses. They're just kind of mundane. They're actually pretty nice for the most part. But it's like every third or fourth one you run into is kind of dilapidated compared to the rest. And when you get to the house that's directly in the corner here, you notice that it doesn't look like it's had any upkeep in a while. Examining it very closely, Alabaster, and there's almost nobody around at this point. Just a random person every once in a while. But you notice that there are symbols etched into the door handle. And they are indeed black hammers. Etched and then painted with something.
Yeah. Do they look magical?
Make an
Would I
Arcana
be
check.
able to? All right. Other than that, well, I think I have detect magic, but that would be a spell slot. Eh.
Up to you what you want to
Hmm.
do.
Yeah, I'll just make an Arcana check.
Okay. Nice. That is a good roll. So you look him over, and yeah, you quickly determine that this is some form of spell that has been cast onto this door.
Do I know any Black Hammer phrases? Did I get any of those from, I don't know, interrogation or anything we've picked up in our travels?
No, the person that you interrogated recently, plus the rest of your travels, every time they were going to give away specific information about something, they died.
Oh, all right. So it's like the Source King in Divinity 2. Just dead. Got it. All right. Is there a way under the roof from here then?
You could probably climb up there, yeah.
I will try to do. Well, I'll say to the rest of the group, there's some strange. There's a spell on this door. I don't trust it. It'll probably hurt us some way. So I'm gonna try and find another way inside. Look for a window or something if you can. Let me know if you find anything. And then I'll go to climb up.
So while this was all happening,
Alright.
Oliver would have come over. I just wanted to let you all do your thing. Would have come over to let you know that what I saw about the ladder and the roof and all this stuff. So you guys
Yeah.
are all aware of which building it was and all of that.
Yeah, he would have come down while you were doing all that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just wanted to wait so you got to do that. I didn't want to interrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Should we try to go up to the roof hatch?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and climb.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make an athletics check for me, please.
Is there any way I could make this acrobatics?
I mean, there are handholds.
Parkour.
There are handholds for you to use to climb up, but there's not really any way to make this acrobatics now.
Could I get in between some of the houses and try and do like the back and
Uh,
feet shimmy up?
So, like I mentioned, they're up against the wall and they're up against
Okay.
each other. So it's just
Alright.
like, brownstone.
Ezra, give me a boost. Please.
I think he's asking for help.
Yeah, I will absolutely not be able to climb this. I'm
Ezra-
gonna roll like a
Ezra, are you
2 and then
there?
it's gonna be a 0.
Absolutely not strong enough to help you, Will.
Come on, I don't weigh that much.
My strength is
How
I
yeah,
got messed up.
we're all weak.
Yeah. All right, Eidolon, are you
How
stronger than?
how tall is the roof? How tall, or is
It
it pretty far up?
These are one-story buildings. The roof slants towards you, so it's actually not that far up. It's only about 15 feet.
All right, I guess I'll just try to climb then. If I fall, I fall. Whatever.
Well, you try to scamper up, but you just can't seem to get the strength of arm and legs and leverage to clamber up using the handholds. Unfortunately,
Whatever. What is this building made of? Sorry. Go ahead, Ezra.
they're stone and brick.
Guidance.
Here,
Ugh.
hold on. I'll make sure I got rope in my bag, and then I'll if I can see like the edge of the roof, I'll misty step up there,
Okay.
and then I'll look and see if there's anything to tie a rope to and pass it down.
There is a chimney.
All right. Use my rope, tie it off, and then look over and be like, here, and throw down the rope.
All right, we're gonna try it with this. I've got this. Hold me up, Ido.
Okay, so
Like two.
advantage, I guess.
All right. Do I have guidance?
Yeah, advantage and guidance. You got this. Come on.
Together we can pass one athletics.
13.
All right, you make it up, panting.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Alright.
also
Climbing
sweating.
this-
I'm also sweating. I'm sweating for you.
Okay.
That was
good.
hard.
So much
That's
better
good.
when
We
you
did
just
it.
spring off of walls, right?
Okay. Now we gotta get Ezra up here. Actually, we'll just try and open the door from the inside. Ezra, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Where's that hatch?
Yeah, it's
Point it out.
It's actually close to the back center of the roof. Yeah.
Okay. Are there also drawings on this?
I don't even think I'm going to make you make a check because you already know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Dang it! They thought of everything. Eidolon,
All right.
can you dispel this or anything?
Yeah, I
Can we
gotcha.
do that on the ground?
I guess I could have done it there too, but
Yeah.
oops. I will cast Dispel Magic at 3rd level.
Yeah, you might have to roll, but it'll be okay.
All right. No, the dispel magic instantly dispels the spell. You see the runes like ignite and burn off without doing any damage to the surface they're on.
All right. Should be good.
All right, cool. Is there a lock on it?
It's got a handle. which probably means it has an interior latch as well as an exterior latch. The mechanism seems to go through it.
What does that mean for me?
Uh,
Do we have
Can
to
I,
like
can I
unlock it,
pick it?
or can we-
Or
make an investigation check if you want me to tell you anything.
Okay.
As you begin to
Nice.
touch it and feel around,
You realize
Always
that
fast.
this mechanism with the latch on the interior, you very quickly realize it's be very easy to trap this.
well,
with-
I was gonna assume. I was just asking
a
if there was a
non-
lock I could.
non-physical. There's no lock, so the latch will work.
Oh,
But looking around, you kind of carefully glance down and get some light so you can see a little bit. You see the glint of metal in 3 different locations.
all right. Eidolon, follow me to the edge of the roof. We're not jumping off, by the way. Just come here.
Okay.
You still have that hand thing of yours?
My mage hand?
Yep. I want you to open that from over here.
Okay. I do that.
Try to. If it's more than 10 pounds, you can't. But
At this point, Luma comes flying up to you, Ulver, and lands on your shoulder again, nips your ear, and then says, in your mind, she says, "I brought the others.
others.
Riken.
Hmm.
And
Where are
and
they?
Kai."
Where are they? I look for him.
You look down and they're down the street, and you can see them walking your direction.
I'll let everybody else know what I'm doing, and I'm going to go directly over to let them know where we're at.
Okay, and we're going to stop session right here.
oh,
And there are 2 reasons. First of all, we're out of time, and second of all, you're gonna be going into a place where you might want some extra people.
well, Kai's here. We could totally do this for 9 more minutes.
Oh, is
Man,
he? He's listening to us. I wasn't even paying attention.
I've been listening. I've been listening the whole time. I just can't talk.
Oh, Dad, save
Oh,
your
no.
voice, man. No worries. No worries, man.
You're good.
No, we can do it next week. Zane,
Yeah, that's a good stopping point, because then, yeah.
Alabaster has, he I'm sure he can join us again. So right?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yes. I have some questions about tomorrow, real quick, Ben, but we can do that later.
Okay.
Do you work tomorrow?
I do.
Okay.
That's
Then
why I gotta
we
go.
should do that sooner. Yeah.
I gotta go to bed. So if you want,
All right.
want to talk to me, you better
Good night.
head over here.
Yeah, I'm coming. Bye bye, guys. Have a good night. See you next
Hey,
week.
thanks.
Wait,
Thanks.
do we?
Yeah,
Are we still?
thank-
We're doing the inspiration thing
Yep,
still.
we still are. So
Oh, yeah.
pick somebody real quick.
Well, I picked
Uh,
Alabaster for sure.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's always good to have you back, man.
Yeah,
All right.
definitely.
Alabaster, were you planning on rejoining for any length of time, or are you just here
Yeah.
for a little while?
I mean, I assume I got all of
Okay.
summer,
Yeah.
and then also, yeah. So
Let me add you to the counters then.
counters.
Yeah, do you know about our punch card system we got going on?
Can't say I do.
So now if we get inspiration, and we already have inspiration, then we get this punch card. It gets added to your punch card, and if you get 10, then we'll
You get a wish.
you get a wish. But then it all dictates on how you use it and how Ben wants to interpret it.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
see anything going wrong there, possibly.
Oh,
But
and
it
also
could-
our
it could be
enemies
fun,
have this ability
entertaining.
too.
Yeah. Sometimes Ben will get inspiration, so
Yeah, I have a counter for the enemy too, for when they do cool things that the party doesn't catch or whatever. So it encourages them to make sure they catch things. Anyways, do you already have inspiration though?
I do not.
Then you get inspiration instead of a point.
I'll probably just end up using my inspiration, honestly.
And that's fine, but we were trying to find it because these guys never use theirs, and so we were trying to come up with something fun to do,
Yeah, Okay.
Anyways, I'm gonna go
Cool.
ahead and end the stream, guys. And then if you have any outside questions for me, you can do that once I've ended it. Anybody that was watching, thank you for watching. We'll be back next week.